So should you put down 20% on a house? It's costing people a ton of time getting to their goals. It's also one of the most common calls I get with, it's just a really antiquated question because it's so far from the truth these days. I typically have to stop people right there because that number didn't come from any kind of logic. It just came from a belief that was handed down. It came from our parents and our parents' parents, etc. Came from a mortgage industry that looked completely different 40 years ago. So people are out here actually eating ramen, working overtime, missing their kids' evenings and family time, grinding for years to hit a number that isn't even required anymore. Here's the 20% down comes from. It used to be the standard. Lenders wouldn't even care or touch you without it, but loan programs have evolved. FHA, conventional, VA, there are options now that didn't exist before. 20% is just one choice of many, and the reason people still fixate on it is PMI. Private mortgage insurance. It gets really nerdy, but it's an extra monthly fee you pay when you put less than 20% down. And somewhere along the way, PMI becomes this monster that you're supposed to avoid at all costs. But here's what nobody tells you. If your credit is decent, the PMI is tiny. I'm talking $90 or $100 a month. That's it. I'm not making that out to be nothing, but it's just not this monster that it's been made out to be. Here's the actual question. So the question isn't how do I avoid PMI? The real question is it worth spending 3 to 4 years of your life saving an extra $60,000 just to avoid a $100 monthly fee? That depends, man. That's a you question. Okay, so let me show you what this actually looks like. I have somebody I'm working with that's on year 3 of saving. They're working towards 20% down. 3 years, they put away about $70,000. That sounds responsible. That sounds accurate. And we go back and forth on this all the time. But during those 3 years, they're on year 3. The home they wanted appreciated. It moved like $20,000 or $30,000 higher. The market moved, and their total PMI cost, we just did this math, if they would have bought a couple years ago with 5% down, would have been around $6,000 over that entire period. They spent 3 years, and they're still on year 3 of their life trying to save to $70,000 and avoid that $6,000. Meanwhile, they missed out on that appreciation, all that extra equity, 3 years of their money working instead of just sitting. I imagine they're probably investing it. So that 20% down payment didn't save them money. It actually cost them money and cost them time. And it cost them their next move waiting a year out. Now, here's where I want your brain to go. Let's say you've saved $100,000. You could put the whole thing down on one house, lower payment for sure, no PMI, done. Easy. Or you could put 5% down, keep the rest of your capital liquid, and use it strategically. FHA loans let you buy up to a fourplex with 3.5% down payment. Like on an $800,000 fourplex, that's like less than 30 grand out of pocket to acquire the whole asset. And you're over here talking about putting 100 grand down on a pay. Now there's still a process for that, right? There's still a way to accomplish this. But the fourplex, the 3 units, cover your mortgage. You've eliminated your housing costs entirely. Like you have no mortgage payments covered by the tenants, and you've still got $72,000 left in your pocket for the next move. Compared to the person who put down $100,000 into a single family home and now carries the entire mortgage themselves. So same starting capital, completely different trajectories. And that's exactly what my wife and I did when we first started and built our portfolio. We bought small, we didn't wait. We worked with what we had. We worked with a small down payment programs. We didn't wait till we had that perfect stack of cash. We moved with what we had, we bought the rest, and now the assets do a lot of the work. And that strategy is exactly what led to our passive income exceeding her job income. And so she doesn't have to work. It all started with not putting down 20%. There's one more thing that is super duper to address, which is just reality of life. Inflation is out there, things are expensive. When you scrape together every dollar to hit 20%, you end up walking into this situation without a cushion or a backup in case something breaks. Things break all the time. Like maybe work slows down, maybe something happens. Like who knows? I would much rather have that safety cushion. So I'd rather see you put down the 5%, keep some reserves in the background, have a slightly higher payment if you can manage it financially, than watch you put all your eggs in one basket and be one emergency away from a disaster. Optionality is worth way more to me than a $100 payment. I like the options. So should you put down 20%? If you have the money and you're not sacrificing or you're not reaching very far to get it, and it fits your goals, sure. But if you have to reach and you're grinding for years and delaying your life to hit that number, then no, you should not wait To save, you need to hop on the real estate train because it keeps going. Hop on the beginning, hop on later. At one point, you got to hop on. The mortgage industry has evolved, so should your strategy. And if you're in Alaska and want me to run these numbers for you for a specific situation, the link is down below. But if you want to just understand how the FHA works as a wealth building tool, like as an actual asset tool, not just a first-time homebuyer program, I made a video exactly how to break this down and use it strategically over here.